Hi, I'm Kurt Campbell, and I'm a Florida native. I was raised in Sumter County and I graduated Wild Old High School. My family was very happy for me whenever I was able to start my career with SECO Energy. I work out of the Sumterville office doing disconnects and reconnects for people as they move in and out of their homes. With my job, I have a lot of customer interaction and feel that I'm able to help people.
Hi, my name is Dave Kearns and I'm a service technician for SECO Energy. I came to SECO Energy in 2005 when my family and I moved down to Florida from Virginia.
All in all, they think the job I do is pretty profound and pretty neat.
I work out of the Groveland District office and I live just 15 minutes from work. That gives me the opportunity to serve the members in the community in which I live. My favorite part of being a service technician is I get to help people when their power is out.
I'm Kathy Pozo. I started with SECO in 2014. I am a member services supervisor. My family is really proud. They know that I work for an electric provider. It is a company that puts the members first. During Hurricane Irma, I was working at the Sumterville Service Center. It was a humble experience to hear the stories that our members had to share of what they lost and the damage that they had in their homes and their community, and yet as a company be able to be here for them.
My name is Matthew Dixon. My family was excited when I was able to get on with SECO, and I said to myself, if I ever get a chance to join the SECO team, I would jump on it, and that's what happened 2 years later. Once they called my name up and said I'll be here in Sumterville, and just like American Idol, you know, when everybody knew they was going to the next level, they say, I'm going to Hollywood. So that's how I got my name, Hollywood. In the middle of the night, you know that phone call is 9 times out of 10 is an outage. I enjoy helping people and seeing them smile once their lights come on.
My name is Paul Byrne. I'm an artist. I do a lot of painting and different artwork. Got a job at SECO when my first kid was on his way. The community is our teachers, our law enforcement, our firefighters. If they have a good night's sleep and a hot cup of coffee in the morning, then their day's going to be good. And they're going to have a positive impact on the people around them, which could be my family. It's an adventure. That's the way I look at it. Is stay optimistic. It's an adventure.
Hi everyone, I'm Kathy Judkins, Senior Consultant for Civic, Charitable, and Government Affairs. I've been an employee here at SECO Energy for 12 years. My family has been a co-op member for over 60 years. So I know firsthand about what a cooperative can do for the community, and they are very proud that I work for a company such as SECO Energy. I've been a part of United Way for about 16 years now. Over the years, our employees have given over $900,000. Each year around October, we receive our Toys for Tots boxes. We have those boxes delivered to our service centers where members as well as employees can give toys to kids that are in need.
Hi, I'm Mark Bowling. I worked at SECO for over 30 years now. I've had the privilege to work in 4 operations centers. At this time, I work in the Groveland yard. Like all the operations center, we have great employees that are dedicated to SECO Energy and I go out of their way and work long hours for our customers. I'll tell you, I've got plenty of family and friends. They'll look at that storm center, they're on our lines, and they'll go to that thing and they'll look at it and they use it. Especially easy to use like that, that's another thing.
I love what I do, and I just want to let everybody know.
We are storm ready.
And it's our privilege
To serve your family's energy needs.
Safety is SECO Energy's most important core value. As such, we are committed to a safe working environment for each of our employees and contractors. Keep It Clear We Work Here is our safety campaign to support a safe work zone around SECO equipment. Members often want to disguise pad mount transformers, secondary enclosures, meters, or poles on their property with shrubs, fences, and other lawn items. These obstructions create a safety hazard for our personnel when trying to access this equipment. Multiple employees often work on this type of equipment while it's energized. Employees carry bulky testing equipment and 8-foot hot sticks while maneuvering around equipment. One slip or the difference of a sliver of an inch could result in an employee or contractor being killed on your property. The clearance requirement around equipment is not new and is not unique to SECO Energy. Our clearance standards are based on standards set in place by the National Electric Code. This code establishes the clearance needed for an adequate workspace based on industry-accepted practices. The code also prescribes the necessary minimum distance personnel should put between themselves and energized equipment. Battling shrubs, potted plants, and other obstructions can delay restoring power and prevent us from doing so safely. Personnel often need to access pad mount transformers, secondary enclosures, meters, and poles to repair or replace before power can be restored.
Myself, and I ask the good Lord to give me strength and courage and wisdom to make the right call. You never know what you're going to find.
During an outage, crews are focused on restoring power safely. When personnel must remove obstructions to create a safe work zone, many times they call in more crews for assistance. Personnel spend precious minutes and dollars removing fences, cutting shrubs or trees, relocating lawn ornaments and rocks to create a safe work zone. All the while, the clock is ticking on the outage response time.
All right, in a case like this, with a service down, in order to get to it, you can't get a bucket truck to it, so we're going to have to climb. What should take 30-minute job, now you're going to have to climb, get hooks, you're going to have additional personnel here. You're looking at a 2-hour job versus a 30-minute job.
And dollars are being spent on overtime. Removing obstructions ensures a safe work area for personnel. Clear access to our equipment allows our employees and contractors to work safely to restore power quickly and economically after an unexpected outage. As a member of SECO Energy, it is your responsibility to keep the area surrounding the equipment on your property clear of obstructions that pose a danger to employees and contractors. Is your power out? Several times a week, SECO field personnel are called to homes that don't have power, but arrive to determine that the resident could have quickly and easily resolved their own issue without waiting on our service call. If your power is out, but your neighbor's isn't, or you have partial power, meaning a few lights or outlets aren't working, you might want to check your circuit breakers. Your breaker.
Good evening. I'm Gerald Anderson, your District 3 trustee and board president. Welcome to SECO Energy's 85th annual meeting, and thank you for tuning in online. SECO Energy's bylaws and Florida statute require electric cooperatives to hold an annual meeting. Central Florida and SECO Energy are growing. We are welcoming hundreds of new members each month. Now it's time to call the virtual annual meeting to order. I'm also officially closing our voting platform so the annual meeting business votes can be tallied and the prize winners can be randomly selected. Stay tuned for the announcement of the prize winners at the end of today's webcast. And now please welcome our District 1 trustee and Board Vice President, Scott Boyette, to the stage to lead us in prayer.
Will everyone please rise and join me for the prayer? Dear Lord, we pray for all of our SECO Energy members and employees who have joined us today for our annual meeting. We thank you for giving us the opportunity to serve our members and our community. Please guide us as we listen to what the upcoming year has to offer and be grateful for what we achieved last year. May your Spirit move in our hearts, opening it up to hear what you have to offer, bringing light to both possibilities and realities. And this time, as we gather together, we celebrate the many gifts you have to offer. Help us live in such a way that we draw closer to your vision. May you guide us and look over as always. Amen. Now I'd like to ask Catherine Gloria, Vice President of Corporate Communications and Energy Services, to come to the podium and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and National Anthem. Kat?
Will you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now will you join me in the singing of the National Anthem performed by Tim Wallace, SECO Energy's Manager of Consumer Billing and Accounting.
And you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you so much, and please be seated. You've already met our Board President and District 3 Trustee Gerald Anderson and Vice President and District 1 Trustee Scott Boyette. I'd like to introduce you to the rest of our Board of Trustees, our CEO, and our attorney. Joyce Anderson, our Board Secretary-Treasurer and District 2 Trustee, is here with us this evening. Our District 4 Trustee, Richard Dennison, joins us today for the meeting as well. District 5 Trustee Shannon Wright is here with us. Mike Muffett, our District 6 Trustee, has also joined us tonight. District 7 Trustee Joseph Kuziak is here with us. District 8 Trustee Bill James has joined us for the meeting. And Morgan Hatfield, our District 9 Trustee, is present as well. Scott Gherkin, our Cooperatives Attorney, is with us from the firm of Stone and Gherkin. And I'd like to introduce you to our CEO, Curtis Wynn, and ask him to come to the podium for a very special recognition of a key member of the executive leadership team.
During official meetings, we appoint a recording secretary. Ms. Nora Brown, SECO's executive administrator for the CEO and board, has served in this role for many years now. I would like to officially appoint Nora to this role today, but it is especially significant and also bittersweet as this annual meeting is officially her last as SECO's executive administrator for the CEO and board. Nora has announced her upcoming retirement, and I would like you to join me in recognizing Nora's 19 years of service to SECO Energy, to the office of the CEO, to the board of trustees, and to a grateful company of 400+ employees. Nora has a quick and savvy sense of humor. Her work ethic, call of duty, and responsibility to SECO Energy is renowned. The Board of Trustees, with me today, rely heavily on her, and I know they will miss her keen attention to detail and servant leadership style. Nora also possesses a uniquely kind spirit and is quick to act for a person in need. Within arm's reach at her desk is a book full of notes to pray specific prayers for specific people. She is a prayer warrior who you want on your team in both good times and bad times. Her gifts to the staff each year are something that were valued and made a difference. A daily devotional book that kept us walking forward in faith in the same rhythm aligned towards God's will. Would you join me at the podium, please, Nora? Her devoted touch on this company and its employees will continue to make a positive difference long after she leaves the office in May. Thank you, Nora, for so many years of service, so many words of wisdom, and so many great chuckles. You will be dearly missed. Now, I'd like to invite our Secretary-Treasurer and District 2 Trustee Joyce Anderson to the podium to certify the timely mailing of the official 2023 annual meeting notice. Ms. Anderson?
Hi, I'm Joyce Anderson. Being duly sworn and elected, I state that I am the Secretary-Treasurer of Sumter Electric Cooperative, Inc., which is officially doing business as SECO Energy. In my role as Secretary-Treasurer, I certify that between the dates of February 9th, 2023 and March 8th, 2023, SECO Energy mailed or delivered electronically to each member of record within the cooperative the 2023 official annual meeting notice of the membership meeting, which is being held today, March 23, 2023. And now I'd like to invite President Anderson back to the podium for his address.
Thank you again, SECO members, for joining us today. As I mentioned previously, Florida cooperatives are required by statute to hold an annual meeting. To conduct official business, we are also need to achieve a quorum. We now count member participation in voting on annual meeting business either electronically, by phone, in person, or by mail as part of our quorum. I'm happy to announce that member voting participation has indeed helped us achieve a quorum this year. Thank you so much. Every member who voted is entered into the prize drawing to win one of 100 prizes. Winners' names are announced at the end of today's meeting, so stay tuned. We will also publish the names on secoenergy.com as well. Today, you will hear from CEO Curtis Wynn as he unveils SECO Energy's new strategy and new mission. On behalf of the entire SECO Board of Trustees, I want to thank you for your membership. Our 9-member Board of Trustees is elected by you. The board sets the policies and approves the budget that guide your cooperative. CEO Curtis Wynn, along with SECO Energy's executive leadership team, manages the cooperative under these policies. Your SECO Energy Board of Trustees is proud to support the cooperative's mission, vision, core values, and strategy map. It is my pleasure to invite CEO Curtis Wynn back to the podium. Curtis.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson, for beginning our meeting with the President's report and the introduction. Good evening, and welcome to SECO Energy's 85th annual meeting of the membership. Thank you to the audience who has tuned in virtually this evening. If you have a question you'd like us to address during the member engagement portion of the meeting, I encourage you to reach out to us via our special email address, phone number, and Facebook. Employees are standing by to interact with you, and we'll do our very best to respond live to questions received today. I am honored to be here. To those who voted on annual meeting business prior to the start of the meeting, I appreciate your participation in the governance process. Looking back in history, you may remember the REA, or Rural Electrification Administration. Since 1938, Sumter Electric, now doing business as SECO Energy, has grown by leaps and bounds from its roots as a small rural electric cooperative. The first 400 homes energized were just south of our headquarters facility in Sumterville. SECO is now a large regional utility that is growing and evolving with the changing energy industry landscape. Central Florida's growth is significant and creates challenges. We reached a milestone of 200,000 meters in 2017. At year-end 2022, SECO served more than 231,000 meters. At today's growth rate, SECO will hit the 250,000 member mark quickly and may step up to be the largest cooperative in Florida. We are currently the third largest in the state and seventh largest in the country, and the growth isn't slowing. With approval of our Board of Trustees, the executive leadership team and I have developed a plan to take SECO into the future. We are in the early stages of executing a comprehensive and multi-year strategy that is summarized through the SECO Energy Strategy Map, which I unveiled to the membership in January's SECO News and on secoenergy.com. The strategy map includes SECO's updated mission, vision, and core values, and a plan of future initiatives and priorities. Our mission: as a not-for-profit cooperative, SECO Energy provides reliable and innovative energy services to our members and communities. Our vision: looking out on the horizon, by the year 2025, SECO envisions itself as a utility company that leads the industry in member satisfaction and engagement, and is the preferred employer in our region. We have updated core values. The first and foremost important is safety. It is followed by member commitment, honesty and integrity, strong work ethic, inclusive culture, accountability, and teamwork. Our employees embody these traits, and we look for these characteristics when we hire new team members. The energy industry is changing. Members are savvier, more knowledgeable about energy usage, and are open to embracing new technology. You are asking for actionable data about your energy usage and ways to help you reduce energy consumption, and most important, save money on your bills during a time when it seems the cost of everything you buy is sky high. Not so long ago, power was distributed from centralized bulk generation and sold as electric energy to consumers. This was a one-direction transaction. Today, consumers and businesses have the potential to be both producers and consumers of energy. This term is called prosumer. Thousands of SECO members are not only consuming the energy SECO sells, they are now finding ways to also produce the same product for their consumption, mostly by investing in rooftop and ground mount solar panels. Other forms of localized energy generation that are on the horizon include electric vehicle batteries that charge parts of the home, standby battery storage, generators, and homes that are simply more energy efficient. Related to energy efficiency, the cheapest kilowatt hour is the one you never use and thus never have to purchase. Again, SECO's most common real-world example of prosumer behavior is rooftop solar. SECO Energy has almost 5,000 interconnected solar arrays in our territory. We have the most interconnected solar arrays of any cooperative or municipal utility in the state, except for Jacksonville Electric Authority. The number of applications for interconnected solar systems is not slowing down. If you're considering solar, please reach out to us first before you sign a contract. We staff solar experts who can provide feedback on how these systems interact with ours and provide factual data on possible return on your investment. The future of the energy industry is here, and it's happening at SECO Energy. We have developed a two-pronged approach to managing your cooperative. First and foremost, we remain focused on our core business as we continue to meet the growth demands of an increasing number of new homes and businesses locating in our area. Simultaneously, we are managing the fast-paced changes in our industry. Our strategy map summarizes strategic efforts to, number one, operate more efficiently by embracing innovative energy technology. Number two, engage with you, our members, in unique ways. And number three, work to overcome the labor and supply chain shortages the energy industry is challenged with today. To reduce costs, we must first invest in updating operational technologies that help SECO Energy lower our need to purchase more energy to serve your needs, which lowers our wholesale power costs, which is our largest expense as a company. To identify these savings opportunities, we are developing a technology roadmap, which will give us a path for updating operational technologies. Aspects of the roadmap will engage with you voluntarily behind the meter in your home. These include optional incentive programs for you to save money by enrolling your smart thermostat, water heater, electric vehicle, and other major appliances in programs that can lower SECO Energy's peak demand, provide participants with incentives and electric bill savings, and lower power costs for all members. A foundational technology investment is the system-wide implementation of advanced metering infrastructure, or AMI. This project was also featured in the January edition of SECO News. Now, to be candid, AMI is industry standard technology, but SECO has lagged in adopting it. We've conducted 2 pilots in the last 2 years and feel comfortable we're headed in the right direction with a system-wide implementation. The foundational AMI investment opens new features and benefits up to members through SmartHub, our online account platform. You will be able to enroll to receive emails or texts related to billing and threshold settings that notify you of unusual usage and many more exciting and smart features. Earlier this month, we began installing our first set of AMI meters throughout our Sumterville substation area for our initial system acceptance tests. I have no doubts that these tests will be successful based on our previous pilot project work. Our plan is to monitor these first meters installed in a concentrated area to start collecting and analyzing data. This first test period will last approximately 6 weeks, and then we will begin the full implementation system-wide. We aim to replace 7,000 to 9,000 meters each month. At this rate, a project of this magnitude in our 2,100 square mile service area will last 3 to 4 years. With the implementation of AMI meters, you will have insights into your energy use through SmartHub. 24/7, you will be able to log in and see your real-time energy use in 15-minute intervals. If you have additional questions, our team will have the tools to assist and the data to support our answers. We get it. You want to be efficient and reduce your usage and expenses. And as your not-for-profit electric utility, we want to only sell you the amount of our product that you need, all in a way to help you save money. Not many businesses can make that claim. That is the cooperative difference. To maximize the SmartHub features, you'll be able to build a home profile in your online account and approximate the amount of energy consumed by and dollars spent on common household appliances. This gives you the ability to see where your energy use is highest and help you develop a plan to save. In addition to SmartHub features, SECO also offers several other efficiency tools. Visit secoenergy.com and select Energy Solutions. Click on the Home Energy Assessment and the Energy Estimator. The Home Energy Assessment provides detailed energy savings advice via email based on the information you enter into the application about your home. The Energy Estimator calculates energy use and costs down to the smallest appliance or electronic in your home based on hours used. Try them both today to start saving money now. Surveys show that the number of members who own an electric vehicle is growing and interest in EVs is high. Prospective EV owners are factoring in the elimination of fuel and maintenance costs as key factors to justifying EV ownership. Similar to our long-standing surge protection program, we now lease or sell level 2 in-home fast chargers to members who have the appropriate breaker panel upgrade, and the receptacle to accommodate the charger plug. Now, with that in place, EV owners can charge their EVs quickly and inexpensively in the comfort and convenience of your home. A member of our energy services team will install the charger. Installation is free at this time, and the purchase price is reasonable at only $699, or the lease is only $14.50 a month. Tying into our EV Fast Charger program, we have recently developed an EV incentive to reward EV owners for charging between the hours of midnight and 6 a.m., which is considered super off-peak. This is the time frame when the wholesale cost of power is lower and there is more than adequate capacity. Incentives like off-peak charging, smart thermostat programs, and other energy savings incentives will offer financial benefits for the member and for SECO. EV owners can pre-enroll in the program today at secoenergy.com and save $7 on their bill every month starting in May. Another technology that provides enhanced service to you and reduces maintenance costs for the cooperative is LED lighting. We began an LED pilot in the Eagle Ridge subdivision in summer 2021, which has been a success. A technology goal for 2023 is to develop an LED rate and implement a plan to deploy LEDs across our area. Because we have almost 60,000 existing area lights on our system, this project will be a multi-year venture. The project list from our strategy map and balanced performance scorecard continues. We're conducting a business case study on whole home generators to enhance your reliability during storm season and to provide SECO with locally produced power to use during times of peak demand. This project is focused on lowering our wholesale power costs, which is yet another valuable financial benefit for all members. Now, if this technology proves viable in the business case, we will announce the program in upcoming editions of SECO News. Speaking of generators and storm season, Central Florida successfully weathered the 2022 hurricane season with two named storms, Hurricanes Ian and Nicole. Hurricane Ian made landfall as a Category 4 hurricane on the West Coast on September 28th. Though it weakened significantly, it caused outages for over 30,000 services. Parts of Florida were underwater for weeks. In our area, members experienced heavy rains, winds, and flooding. The second storm, Hurricane Nicole, made landfall near Vero Beach on the East Coast on November 10th as a Category 1 storm. This hurricane was less devastating than Ian, thankfully. Nicole brought mostly wind and rain. I am very proud of our SECO team who responded to the outages from both hurricanes by working safely, efficiently, and professionally. We received hundreds of complimentary social media messages, handwritten letters, as well as emails from all who were grateful for our speedy response. There is a significant amount of federal grant funding becoming available to electric cooperatives. Our team is aggressively applying for these funds to improve our operations while reducing the amount of money we would otherwise need to borrow and pay interest. In the fourth quarter of 2022, SECO applied for federally funded BRIC grants. BRIC stands for Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities. Our grant applications in Marion and Sumter counties total more than $8 million to improve reliabilities in these counties. In January, both of our applications passed the Florida Department of Emergency Management review and have been referred for federal FEMA consideration. In mid-December, we applied for 3 GRIP conceptual grants. GRIP stands for Grid Resilience and Innovation Partnerships. 2 of the grants are smart grid related, and the third is a resiliency grant to convert overhead lines to underground across our system. We learned in February that our conceptual resiliency grant application was accepted, and SECO was encouraged by the Department of Energy to move forward with the full application process at the federal level, with an early April due date. That grant application for over $70 million involves converting vulnerable overhead facilities to underground and a total of 55 long-term grid system improvements to support the modernization of the grid, improve resilience, to increase access to meet growing community capacity needs, while mitigating the impact of disruptive events like power outages due to extreme weather or natural disasters. We're working diligently to pursue other sources of funding, such as the grants mentioned above, all in an effort to keep costs as low as possible for our members. In my 40 years of utility experience, I have never seen the supply chain issues, rising costs, and labor constraints that we're experiencing in the current economy. Unfortunately, even as a not-for-profit utility, we are not immune to the economic downturn that started in 2020 with COVID and developed into runaway inflation these past 2 years. Costs have risen dramatically on nearly everything we purchase to maintain our electric system and construct new services in a rapidly growing economic environment. Equipment such as pad mount transformers cost nearly 44% more than they did just 3 years ago. In 2020, the cost was $3,302. Today, these individual units cost $4,740. Pole mount transformers costs are up just over 35%. In 2020, a pole mount was $2,309. Today, the cost is $3,160. 2-inch conduit installed used to cost $1.26 a foot. Today, it costs $4.03 a foot. 4-inch conduit cost increases are even higher. In 2020, a foot of installed 4-inch was $2.86. Today, it costs $8.99 a foot. Again, that's over 3 times the amount we paid less than 3 years ago. Every item we stock to build new infrastructure and maintain our over $1 billion electric system has increased dramatically. Simply put, it is more expensive to do business today than it was even last year. Note that our 2022 capital budget was $76,520,000. The 2023 capital budget was necessarily increased to $119,795,000 to cover these rising costs. With these rising costs formalized in the cost of service study presented to the Board of Trustees in the February meeting, it was painfully clear that we cannot avoid a customer charge increase. This is the line item fee on your bill meant to collect for fixed costs of providing service. Effective on bills calculated after May 1st, the monthly customer charge is increasing from $1 per day, which is roughly $30 per month, depending on the number of days in the billing cycle, to $34.50 per billing cycle. Now, those of you tuned in today are hearing this change in advance of the official notice that will be published in April's edition of SECO News. On a positive note, we are seeing signs of potential relief from the fuel cost increases that caused the power cost adjustments, or PCAs, you experienced over the last year. The PCA is the line item on your bill that fluctuates as the price of fuel causes changes to the wholesale cost of power. These projections indicate that we may be able to change the PCA to positively impact your bill in the coming months, which can minimize the impact of the increased customer charge. It is important to keep in perspective that SECO's rates remain very competitive compared to investor-owned and municipal utilities in our area, across the state, and nationwide. State and local news stories show that rates, fixed cost fees, and fuel costs are rising. Helping people in need and reducing costs are critical in today's economic environment. As a not-for-profit, cooperatively structured utility, SECO follows the cooperative principles to guide our day-to-day business operations. Concern for community is a key co-op principle, and keeping costs low for all members remain a high priority. Surveys tell us that members want to be a part of an organization that does more for their consumers and communities than profit from the goods and services it sells. Our ability to help disadvantaged members to reduce our carbon footprint and lower costs for all members will be impacted by the Foundation's focus on supporting SECO Energy's efficiency initiatives. Effective January 2023, we established a 501c3 foundation in transition from our former Pennies from Heaven program. This decision to make this change was made with much forethought, research, and more than anything, with strong consideration for improving the quality of life in the communities we serve. Like Pennies from Heaven, the foundation is funded largely through SECO's Electric Bill Roundup program. But as a 501c3, the pennies we round up can also be supplemented by grants the foundation applies for through other private and federal funding programs that align with SECO Energy's and the foundation's goals. Just like Pennies from Heaven, participating members' extra rounded up pennies are donated to the foundation to fund grants and bill payment assistance that make a difference in the lives of members across the communities we serve. The SECO Energy Foundation will have more funding for our United Way partners and social service agencies to apply toward bill payment assistance for members in need. The types of grants the foundation will consider are bill payment assistance, energy-related projects, educational STEM projects, scholarships, veterans initiatives, public safety programs, environmental projects, and health and human services initiatives. SECO Energy Incorporated, the SECO Energy Foundation Incorporated, and it has complied with IRS and Florida's Check a Charity registration requirements to date. Foundation bylaws and articles of incorporations were filed appropriately and are posted on our website. SECO Energy changed the way members are enrolled in Electric Bill Roundup for foundation participation, and our research showed that an opt-out type of enrollment has become more mainstream. Now, while the program will be a huge benefit for our members and communities, we anticipated that some members would not want to participate. That is why, since August, through numerous forms of communications, members have been provided with a variety of convenient ways to inform us if they do not want to participate in supporting the foundation. Again, the methods communicated for unenrolling from foundation participation are numerous. Any pennies unknowingly or unintentionally donated will be fully refunded upon member request. The average annual donation per member is $6. The donation is tax deductible for those members contributing since the foundation is a 501c3. It is simple. If participating in the program is not for you, just let us know and we'll unenroll your account immediately and refund any pennies you may have contributed. The benefits of the foundation have already started. We are super excited about how this change will positively impact our members and our communities in the years to come. The Foundation Board of Directors met in February and approved the Foundation's first 3 grants. $2,500 was approved for a Lake County project in the Foundation's Health and Human Services category. The Restore Lake project will provide transitional housing for 40 people, 10 to 14 families with children, in SECO Energy service territory. The second grant approved was in the public safety category in Marion County. $5,319 was approved to equip Marion County fire rescue engines with line pressure gauges, gate valve, and 3-way ball valves to provide service and protection for its first responders and the public. The third grant approved was a funding request in the Foundation's Environmental Projects category. $22,000 was approved to replace a portion of a damaged boardwalk for Trout Lake Nature Center in the Eustis area. The boardwalk rebuild will allow students and members to enjoy this local, environmentally friendly project to its fullest potential. Over the last 8 years, the Nature Center has conducted over 500 free field trips and reached 215,708 students through learning experiences. The Foundation's scholarship grant application portal launched in January and is open until March 24th. If you are a member with a graduating senior who is interested in a career in the energy industry and plans to attend a college or technical school here in Florida, encourage them to apply today. The Board of Trustees was introduced earlier. I want to take a moment to recognize your SECO Energy Board for their service in your cooperative. Thank you for your commitment to the membership. I'd like to recognize the executive leadership team, which oversees SECO's day-to-day operations that result in our outstanding operating and financial results. During the member engagement Q&A portion of today's meeting, they may assist in answering questions. You were introduced to Nora Brown earlier. She is our executive administrator for the CEO and board. As Nora is leaving us, I would like to introduce you to Jerry Helms, who has been transitioning into Nora's role as executive administrator for the CEO and board. Please join me in welcoming Jerry, who will soon assume Nora's role in keeping us running like a well-oiled machine. Catherine Gloria is our Vice President of Corporate Communications and Energy Services. And Ann Reynolds is our Interim Chief Financial Officer. John LaSelva is our Vice President of Operations. Greg Morrell is our Vice President of Corporate Services and Human Resources. Tracy DeLimos is our Deputy General Counsel. Ben Dawson, our Vice President of Growth, Smart Grid, and Operational Technology. Last but not least is Mike White, who is our Vice President of Engineering. I am grateful for their and their team's contributions to our new mission, vision, core values, and fulfilling the plan set forth in our strategy map. Our over 400 SECO Energy employees are the lifeblood of our cooperative. Ultimately, we could not serve the membership base at this level of exceptional satisfaction without them. They uphold our core values with safety at the forefront, teamwork, accountability, and their commitment to serving our members is unmatched. In closing, I want to thank you for tuning in to our 85th annual meeting today. I am so grateful for all who voted on annual meeting business this year, a record number of votes. Remember, every member who voted is eligible to win one of 100 prizes. Stay tuned to read the list of winners. The list will also be posted on our website. Now I'd like to reintroduce our corporate attorney, Scott Gherkin, who has reviewed the voting results of the ballots cast by members who voted on the bylaws revision and approval of the 2022 meeting minutes. Scott?
Thank you, Mr. Wynn. Several years ago, a bylaws revision was recommended by the Board of Trustees and approved by a majority of voting members to give SECO Energy the flexibility to conduct electronic and by-mail voting on annual meeting business matters, such as approval of bylaw revisions, articles of incorporation updates, and approval of the previous year's annual meeting minutes. This year, the Board of Trustees requested 2 annual meeting business items be placed before the membership through the official 2023 annual meeting notice. The first is a proposed bylaws revision that will better serve the members. The proposed revision will allow the Board of Trustees to make adequate plans and preparations for the annual meeting to expressly set forth a provision in the bylaws to provide for a virtual annual meeting. The second item is the approval of the previous year's annual meeting minutes. As the Cooperative's attorney, I am here today to certify those voting results. Voting was closed at 6 p.m. as the meeting began today by President Anderson. The votes counted were received prior to that 6 p.m. stated deadline and submitted in accordance with the bylaws and procedures adopted by your board. I'm also proud to announce that 2023 marks a record year of member participation in the voting process, with more than 10,000 members casting ballots. Thank you. The member votes for approving the bylaws revisions are as follows. 12,964 voted yes, 364 voted no, and 1,047 abstained. Total votes cast are 14,375. The bylaws revision is clearly approved by the membership. The member votes for approving the 2022 annual meeting minutes are as follows. 13,316 voted yes, 163 voted no, and 896 abstained. Total votes cast are 14,375. The 2022 annual meeting minutes are also clearly approved by the membership. Thank you to all who voted and played a part in the Cooperative's democratic process. All members who cast a ballot are entered in a drawing for one of 100 prizes that will be announced after the adjournment of the meeting and published on SECOenergy.com. Moving on from old business to new business, this is a traditional part of the annual meeting agenda that takes us into the member engagement portion of the meeting for the question and answer session. So I'll turn the podium back over to Mr. Wynn.
As you saw earlier this evening, a panel of member services and communications employees are manning our special phone line, which is 352-329-MEET, or 6338. Our email address is seco23am@secoenergy.com, and you can contact us through Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We have been receiving questions and comments all evening, and I understand that we are ready to start responding, and I would like to get the first question from the panel. Okay, so the first question is coming from Sandra W. from Ocala, and it says, I want to be a part of the big in-person annual meeting. Well, as you know, Sandra, we did discontinue a few years ago with COVID having the big meeting, and with a lot of deliberation and thought, we decided to continue to do the meeting virtually. Now, as you heard earlier from Attorney Gherkin, that we had a lot of participation this year. Over 14,000 participants have participated. As we reflect back to when we were having the in-person meeting, we were hampered with a lot of very concerning issues, such as traffic, getting in and out of our area here at the office. And if you think and look forward, fast forward to today, what we're seeing in these same areas that where our office is, we're having a lot worse traffic than we've ever seen. As a matter of fact, it's very hard on just a regular day for our employees to get to and from work with a lot of the construction that's happening here. So we deliberated and decided that it's safer, it is more cost effective, and we can also reach more of our members from all across our system by sticking with the virtual process and the virtual meeting. We're planning, as it stands today, to continue with these. We wish we could have the in-person contact. We miss interacting personally with our members, but we think for a lot of reasons it's going to be more effective, more and better and safer, most importantly, for us to continue with a virtual format. I hope that answers your question. You always are able to call us back if you have any additional questions or comments you'd like to hear about that. Do we have any other questions? Chris R. from Ocala. The question, the question is, can I opt out of the AMI meter installation? And the very short answer is yes, you can, but there is, for those who choose to opt out of the AMI installation, meter installation, there will be a $40 per month charge for that. And the reason is that our part of the justification for starting and implementing the AMI program is to cut down on costs. And one of the major costs that we will be able to reduce is the cost of us paying for meter readers to go out and read the meter every month. As you can imagine, that is very costly. As I've referenced earlier in the comments, 2,100 square miles, 230 plus thousand meters that we'd have to read each month. And we're going to see, and the members are going to see, a huge cost savings. So we would encourage all of our members to participate, but you do have that option, and there will be a service charge accompanied with the choice to opt out of the program. Any other questions? Okay, this one is from Sue W. from Claremont. I understand prices are rising. Prices are higher for us too. Energy is a necessity and it's getting more expensive. Lots of us are concerned. And Sue, we're very, very sensitive to that. But let me first say that your board of trustees is also very sensitive to that very fact that you just raised. We wish this was not the case, that we have to increase the customer charge, but as you reflect on the numbers that I quoted in my speech earlier this evening, you see the pressure that and the cost increases that we're seeing as your utility. As bad as painful as it is, we really, if there were other options, trust me, our board of trustees would have us exercise those options. But to be really frank about it, there aren't many other options. One thing I want to just really highlight about us, you also heard me refer to this during the comments, is that we are a not-for-profit electric utility, electric cooperative. We have no motive or no inclination for making a profit. That is for investor-owned utilities, not for your electric cooperative. So with the cost of everything happening, we understand the pain and the burden that it creates for our members. But if we had a different option, we would certainly exercise it. And we are. As you look into the future, you heard several times in the remarks that we're looking as a part of our strategy for as many ways as possible to avoid future rate increases as well as customer charge increases in the future. We really appreciate you raising this concern. It is very high on our list of priorities as it relates to cost, and we'll do everything, and we'll continue to do everything we can to minimize future increases for customer charges as well as rate increases. Is there another one? Okay, this one comes from Edward P. from Claremont. And Edward says, I still disagree that you chose to enroll members in a program without their knowledge. I unenrolled from your foundation. And Edward, that is certainly your option to do that. We really thought long and hard about the factors that led to us making the decision to create the foundation. And the option and the desire for some of our members to opt out was certainly high on our list. As a matter of fact, one of our trustees actually brought up during the deliberation that even 10 years from now, if a member all of a sudden noticed that this charge has been on their bill, they still have that option to unenroll. It is not our intention to do anything but help the community and create a better quality of life for our members and for the communities we serve. And we're already on the way. You saw the 3 examples of things that we're doing as I presented earlier. We will be able to do a lot more of that in the future. So we're really excited about the pluses, and we are mitigating the minuses in terms of those who want to unenroll. As of today, still just less than 4% of our members have decided to opt out. And that is much better than we had expected when we started the program. So thank you for your concern, and I'm glad that you've chosen to exercise your option to opt out, and we will continue to do as much as we can to embrace the needs of the community and the members and support them in any way that we can. Are there any other questions? Well, I think that concludes all of our questions, so thank you for joining us. I want to say thank you to all of the members who joined us virtually this evening and to the employees and our Board of Trustees who made this event a success. I'd like to ask President Anderson to make a motion to bring the meeting to a close. President Anderson?
I'll make a motion to adjourn the annual meeting of SECO Energy.
Mr. Boyette, would you second?
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed? The 2023 annual meeting is officially adjourned. Thank you so much for joining us today.
And now for the moment you've all been waiting for, when we publish the 100 prize winners who were randomly selected from the record number of members who voted on annual meeting business. Thank you to all who voted, and especially to everyone who tuned in this evening.